folks, welcome back to another episode of Dirt Diamond Sports Talk. I'm Ryan, as always, with my man Wally here. Tonight, we're going to talk some Astros baseball. We can talk a little bit about the MLB. Are the White Sox legit? And what the heck happened today between the Yankees and the A's? Oh my gosh. Guys, don't forget to hit subscribe on your favorite podcast app. And again, kind of new to us, we're streaming live on YouTube. Wally, man, the Brewers series didn't necessarily erase the good vibes that we had coming out of a decent road trip. But what it did do was remind us that the Astros are still walking a pretty fine line between being good and being a questionable baseball team. When the pitching is good, the offense can just disappear. When the offense gives them a lead, we still have bullpens issues with proving that they can finish a game. Friday night was the perfect example of this being a finish the game type of loss. The offense did enough pretty early in that game, but late chances and the bullpen execution, it just didn't land. And the Astros came out there at the end of extra innings with a loss.
Well, a couple things. When you talk about a fine line, the Astros have to win about 62% of their games to get to 90 wins.
Yep.
So seeing as where they are now, what, 7 games under 500?
So, yes, sir.
You really are on a fine line. We saw this, a couple of years ago when we made the playoffs. We got that far behind. We had to win 60% of the games. We did it. The Astros did it. The one thing we talked about a couple of years ago is don't try to do it again. It's happened once between now and 2004 or 1914, and the Astros did it. So they're playing better. We saw two things. We saw how a bullpen is so dependent on everybody doing their job. When you looked on the Friday night game on how it went, you had one pitcher didn't do his job. Brian King came in after Abreu couldn't throw a strike, and he was, he gave up that run, let that run score. But then again, he was in a no-win situation. The series was lost on Friday night. When you look at the guys, when we talked about in the bullpen, and the only hit that was given up was by Brian King. Abreu walked 2 guys, put him in trouble, and I think he threw a wild pitch to get the runners on second and third. In fact, he did throw a wild pitch to get the runners on second and third. So when you're Brian King, as much as anything else, you're trying to avoid a big inning and just keep the game tied.
Yeah,
but get to extra innings. You see why the Brewers are good and why the Astros are struggling. When you get into extra innings, the Brewers executed to get the run in. The Astros didn't.
Well, I mean, look at the ninth. Look at the ninth. I mean, the Astros had the bases loaded with 1 out, and Bryce Matthews struck out, Paredes popped out. The situational hitting there did not come around. I mean, you got the bases loaded with 1 out, and you can't score a run to win the game.
Matthews looked horrible. That's the first time he looked overmatched in a while. But
watching that strike go right down the middle for the strikeout
was
brutal.
He was completely fooled on the curve and the dirt, and then the heat came down the middle, and you're like, dude, woof. And I say this every so many shows. We get on these guys for doing what they do and we think that they should do, and the things that we can't do, and they've got more talent in their hangnail than we have in our entire bodies. We love the game, we want them to win, and we get frustrated, and we feel their failures when they fail, and we enjoy their successes when they do well. Kai Tang continues to be do well. He gave up, if he had not given up that 1 home run,
Yep.
The 2-run home run to get it from 4-1 to 4-3. Still, it put him in a place that they could win. Steven Okert pitched well. King pitched well. Santa did well enough.
Hmm.
They just executed. Now today, the Astros
Not
pretty
this year.
much.
Before we go to the next game, this it's and not to put too much on one game, right? But I think that Friday night game, you said it, that game lost. They lost the series when they lost that game, and I think Friday night's game was the kind of game that really, when you look at the full picture, you can go 9 innings or play it out to the 10th. But that Friday night game is the kind of game that you see that separates the teams that
That's
are
right.
kind of already in the hunt from the teams that are trying to climb back into it. And Houston didn't finish. Milwaukee stayed patient, just did what they know they can do, and
Yep.
that was the storyline of that game.
What's the old line? It says you're playing 150 games, 160 games. You've got somewhere around 60 games you're going to win no matter what happens. 60 games you're going to lose no matter what happens. So, what do you do with the 40 some odd games in the middle? Well, we found out
Yep.
what happened there. Let me give you Abreu's line on Friday night. Third of an inning, 12 pitches, 2 strikes. Woof.
Mm. That just
You know
goes
that that
totally counter to what we said about him on the last podcast, which was he started looking comfortable. His velocity started coming back. His control
Oh
was looking
man,
good. We just threw all that out the window.
he
Oh,
can make
jeez.
coffee nervous.
Yeah.
even
Oh
even the
man.
years before, he would, when he was setting up, he'd get 2 guys on and then strike 3 guys out in a row.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Well, Saturday night was that was a nice comeback win, right? The offense, it's the kind of game that the Astros do need more often, despite a Friday night game
Sure.
and trying to define what this team looks like. Pena kind of set the tone. Christian Walker supplying the thunder. Paredes was looking great. The lineup just really created pressure on the pitching, and they did that inning after inning. This was the best version of the Astros that we occasionally get to brag about.
Yeah, and it's 4-1, and then Christian Walker comes up and makes it 7-1 with the home run, and then you feel like you can step back and relax a little bit. And
Yep.
then you get in your rocking chair and you get some. I was a little bit surprised that at 9-2 that Joe didn't get some guys off their feet. Shoemake
Yep.
got hurt
Yep.
in that game, so he's got that groin issue. So Nick Allen played a few innings, but a little surprised he didn't get a few guys off their feet. But whatever. Peter Lambert was good. Blue Ball was great for 3 innings.
Yep.
Logan Van Way got his letter jacket, and it was just a nice win.
Yeah. Well, and of the three games, I think that we probably would have, if we would have picked one of the games, it would have been the Sproat game that would have been
Oh
the one
yeah,
that the Astros would have had a better chance at. So, yep,
yeah. But
absolutely.
but the story in that for the Astros is that Peter Lambert is continuing to be someone that you're beginning to count on
Yep.
to be steady.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
his where he is right now, he's got a 3.77 ERA, 121 WHIP. He's a little better than a league average pitcher.
Yeah.
The league average is about 4.20 in the ERA. Yeah, so he's better than that. 121 WHIP. He's a little better than the league average, and getting out of Colorado and getting his head
Yeah.
straight in Japan. Getting out of Colorado will get people straightened out.
Yeah. In a lot of cases,
You,
that sure will.
you ever
Man.
seen a game in Colorado?
I've been to a couple in Colorado,
Yeah,
actually.
that's
Yeah,
a
it's
cool
it's
stadium,
it's
isn't it?
one of my favorite places to visit by far.
It's a
The
cool stadium.
the Coors Bar top. Man, you
Yeah,
pay $15 to get in, and it includes a free beer with your ticket, and you just go
yeah.
hang out up there at the roof there, and it's a great place. I've been in the suites before up there, and It's just a great and the atmosphere around the ballpark. It's a really cool place
Yeah,
around
it
the
is a
ballpark.
cool.
There's a lot of great places to grab a bite to eat and have another
Oh
couple
yeah,
of cold beers. And yeah, really great place.
and
I
you
love
know
Coors
the
Field.
area around there, around the stadium, reminds me of San Diego a little bit.
Yes, it does actually.
Have
Yeah,
you
that's a
have
good
you been
point.
to the yeah, have you been to
Yeah.
Petco?
Yep.
Which
Yep.
of those stadiums do you like better?
Ooh. I mean, it's hard to beat a stadium right by the water like that in San Diego,
Oh, Petco's
but
cool.
it is very cool. And that whole area, the gas lamp part of the gas lamp district there in San Diego is just so neat. But yeah, if I probably had to pick one game between those two stadiums, I'd probably pick San Diego.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, if Coors Field was facing towards the mountains, I might take Coors Field, but it's
Yeah.
facing the other way. Hey, you know, we were
Yeah.
a couple of with us a couple of years ago. We were at the game when Altuve fouled that ball off his foot and then took his shoe off and showed it to the up.
That
We were
was
sitting, we
classic.
had like second or third row seats, and we're like, he's not
That's
going to take
classic.
his
He's
shoe
taking his
off.
shoe
It was
off.
classic.
It's so classic. Oh man. Oh, jeez.
It's like,
Well,
and Mary was with me. Mary and I went to the game. She says, "Why did they throw him out of the game?" It's like he took his shoe
he
off.
took his
He showed
shoe
up
off
the
to
up. He's got no
prove the ump
choice.
wrong. Yeah. 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 The ump can't let that fly for sure. That was indeed a classic moment.
Oh, it
Of
was
all the
classic.
of all of the Altuve classic moments that we've experienced, that's up
That was
there.
one of them. That was
It's
one
up
of them.
there.
Today's
Oh
game
man.
was
It
today's
was the
game.
Mizorowski show today, right?
Yeah, and you know today's game. You don't feel so bad about that because the guy comes in and he throws 8 innings. Was it 7 or 8 innings?
Seven
Um,
scoreless. Yep.
yeah, it was score. It was. But he walked nobody.
Mhm.
I mean, he was absolutely deadly. 7 innings, 88 pitches. He could have gone all the way if they'd wanted him
Probably
to.
could have.
No
Yep.
question.
Yep.
3 hits. No one even really sniffed. We had 3 guys in scoring position all day. We left only 4 guys on. One extra base hit. That's that ball that Paredes hit back into the corner. He
Yep.
Mizorowski was deadly.
Here's a
You know,
here's a stat.
you
Here's a
just
stat for you. His first 14 pitches were all four seam fastballs
yeah.
that did not land under 100 miles per hour. They were
And
all
it's easy
between
heat.
100 and 103.1.
It's easy heat.
And he
And they were
just
talking about it
threw
on,
three straight fastballs past Jordan. I mean, who does that
yeah. Well,
and gets
and
away with it?
he's got such long extension. They were talking about TK and Blum especially was talking about he had such long extension. And when you watch him throw, um, you don't feel like he's really putting that much effort to get to what he's doing.
Yeah.
He it was just you know, that's one game that you say, you know what, he was better than he was too good.
Yeah.
He was
And
just good, and
that's not to take anything away from Emai, who pitched pretty well. I mean, well
you
enough to
might pitch
win most
great
days. I mean, in today's, 4 hits and 2 runs,
in six
with
innings.
the homer. Yeah.
Went 110 pitches, yeah. And Joe was saying that he wanted to go out for the seventh.
I did see that too. Yep.
You know,
Yep.
so which is great because he's starting to get his confidence. Let me give you some numbers. Since this was more or less a pitching dominated series, Astros ERA below below 5 for the first time all season. And since the worst, you know, it was the absolute worst when we came out of the Rocky series, yeah, and or out of the Mariners series. And since the Mariners series, I've got the staff at a 3.63 ERA. The
Last 15 games, a 3.35 ERA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've got more than that, but this both the starters and the relievers have been, you know, 368 for the starters, 356 for the relievers.
Yep.
You know,
And a 174 opponent batting average over the last 15 games.
yeah, I mean the pitching is, you know, is a laughing stock to start off with as well. It should have been.
Yeah,
but the pitching is fine.
it's definitely not the nightly emergency that we've been
Oh no, it's
experiencing for a while, right? It's like,
no,
who's going
it
up
was not.
tonight?
Yeah, it wasn't the 911 we were getting
Yeah,
when we had last time.
yep,
But they got a day have a day off coming in. So long and story short, it's a series they could have won. It's like you hit it. It's the kind of series that winning teams win and struggling teams lose.
yep, yep,
Um, you've got the Pirates coming in. You've got Burrows and Bubba Chandler tomorrow night. Burrows faces his old team.
hmm
Arrighetti and Skeens on Wednesday.
that'll be a game to watch.
Um, and then Jared Jones and Kai Wei Tang on Thursday,
Yep,
and then the A's
yep,
come in the weekend. So
yeah,
again, you're playing the Pirates, who are above 500. They're a good team, but if the Astros play the game, they should win two of the three.
yeah,
You know,
yep,
Skeens has been good, but his ERA is now 2.89. He's been lit up a couple of times in a row.
yeah, yeah. I
So
mean, I think the interesting thing about the Pirates is they're not. They're not, hey, can you survive Cruz and move on? Right now they've got
yeah,
Lowe, Reynolds, Horitz, O'Hearn, Gonzalez. Like this is real at bats up and down that lineup that the Astros are going to have to, they're going to have to compete.
yeah. You talk about a guy though who gives and takes away. Cruz gives when he's at bat, but boy, he is absolutely terrible in center field.
Yeah,
I mean, what
yeah,
they're doing with him
that
out
was a
in center field.
ridiculous remove.
Oh, he's just, but he's got the old Michael Jackson disease. You know that one.
No.
He's got a glove on one hand for no apparent reason.
Oh my gosh. All right. All right.
I mean,
Man.
have you spent any time just watching him play center field?
So I've seen clips, and it's
Oh,
it's of course it's a topic of conversation. So my a large portion of my family are Steel City natives. So we have a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers fans in my family, and old school Pirates fans, and some of them still keep up with the Pirates, even though they're not kind of um, a tried and true fan team, really. Like the Steelers, people move away from Pittsburgh and they stay Steelers fans for life.
oh yeah.
Pirates, it's not really the same type of thing. But
When you've sucked for
yeah,
30
still,
years, what are you going to
yeah,
do?
that's true. That's true. But yeah, my aunt still sends me. She's still a big baseball fan, and so sometimes I'll get little clips and memes sent to me about Cruz, and it's yeah,
Oh, it's just like you look
cruising,
at him play
cruising,
center field, and
cruising the outfield, cruising. Yeah, it's bad.
oh, it's just like you want to throw him a noose.
Yep,
It's so bad.
yep,
He is so bad.
yep.
And they
So
put him.
the one
That's the
thing,
thing. The thing is, though, he's a when he hits it, man, he has one of the highest exit re- exit velos in
yeah,
the league. You know,
yep.
he is a great athlete, no question. He's a great athlete. He's just not a great baseball player.
It'll be a real test for our pitcher catcher combination, because they have 56 stolen bases as a team, and Cruz alone has 19 of those. Connor Griffin has 14, even though he just went on the IL. But so Vasquez has been huge filling in for Yiner, but Pittsburgh's going to catch, and they're going to test that battery unit. It'll be a big thing that I hope that they're really kind of prepared for, because you can turn a walk into a double real quick with Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I don't think I'm going to get to see any of the games, but I would like to see Griffin play. He
Yeah.
seems like he's held up well enough.
Yep. I'm seeing that he's on the IL. So
Griffin's on the IL.
that's what it says here. Where does it say that? Let me read that again. 56 stolen
Didn't play
bases.
today.
Connor Griffin has 14, though he just went on the IL with a strained right elbow, according to ESPN.
Ooh,
Yep.
that sucks.
Yep.
Sucks for
Yep.
them.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. All right, so yeah, that's kind of yeah. It'll be interesting to see what the Astros can do with the Pirates because they're a pretty legit team it seems, and so
And
another legit team that we've been watching is the Chicago White Sox. Man, what's going on there?
you know, the White
Is it
Sox.
real? Is it real, or is it just that's
Well,
kind of the
first
AL
off, you
Central
give
is what it is, and so
yeah, you give Will Venables tremendous credit for just making them even believe they could win. When in
yeah,
your life would you see the White Sox 5 games over 500 after
yeah,
62 games? And we're at
yeah,
100 games to go. Isn't that wild? We
yeah.
are, the
It's
Astros
still
have
100 games ago.
101 games to go. The White Sox, most teams are right around 100 games to go. You know, they've got some guys that are raking. Murakami's raking. He's went on the injured list. Don't think it's going to be all that long, but he's on the IL, right? Just went on to his first game today, but he's 20 home runs, 41 RBIs with a 938 OPS. Guys like Miguel Vargas have an 835. Colson Montgomery has a 827 as shortstop who's hit 15 home runs. Chase Mydroth, who played shortstop last year, it's a scrappy ball player with a good league
Yep.
average,
Yep.
OPS. What they do, the pitching, you've got a couple of pitchers, Davis Martin, who's got a whip under one, and you've got Sean Burke, who's got a whip at 1.13 there. Where their pitching, I think, is outperformed. They've outperformed their pitching because their closer's Sarah Anthony Dominguez. And
Hmm.
Sarah Anthony Dominguez is a 1.15 whip, but he's got 11 saves, but he's got 4 walks per 9 innings. That's their Anthony Dominguez. You know,
Yeah.
he'll throw well, but then he'll throw some. He'll get wild, and you just can't do anything. What I'm
Yeah.
looking at some of the guys that they have, they're young, they're aggressive. Looking at some of the ages they've got, Antonacci's 23, Vargas is 26. Benintendi's there, but he just DHs. He's 31. Montgomery's 24. Mydraw's 24. Jacob Gonzalez, who just got brought up from Murakami's 24. Tristan Peters is 26. Drew Romo and Edric Caro are 24 and 26. That's the catcher combination. You've got Nishida. Nishida is the right field. He's from one kid from Oregon, 25. Ian Murakami's just 26. So they're a young up and coming team, and you would expect them to get better over the next 3 to 4 years. Not all these guys will continue to perform, but one thing you look through these guys, you go to Baseball Savant and look at their chase percentage. These guys, for the most part, don't chase.
Yeah.
They catch the ball and they make plays.
Yep. What about
They do.
What about Davis Martin? An 8-1 with 2 ERA.
Yeah, with the two
I
ARA
mean,
and a one and a
sheesh.
yeah, but they've only really
71,
got two
71
pitchers.
strikeouts. He's only allowed 14 walks and only 3 home runs in
Yeah,
67 and 2/3 innings.
but to stay in the game, to stay in the race, I think they're going to need another pitcher or two
Hmm. Yep.
because you've got Davis Martin, you've got Davis Martin, you've got Sean Burke. Guys like Anthony Kay are okay. Eric Fetty, he's Eric Fetty.
Yep.
And when you take a look at those guys, they're not going to be the guys that can bring you through. And they've got a really interesting decision to make: is do they go for it this year,
Hmm.
really try to make the playoffs, or they try to run with this team with the young guys and decide, do we want them just to get the experience? If they make the playoffs, great.
Yep. So
Usually that
they've only played 40% of their games against teams over 500, and they're 10 and 14 in those 24 games. They're 12 and 16 on the road. Their run differential is only +8. So
right.
this is a case for skepticism that they might not
Yeah,
actually be legit. They're 12 and 6 in 1 run games, but those types of games can really normalize pretty fast over the course of another 30 games
Yeah,
coming around. So
I'm with you just simply because I think the hitting, I think the offense is legit.
yeah, they've got real
I
power.
think
They
I
take
think they're
walks. They're winning close games. I mean, it's they're a piece or two away from pretty much. I think they're a piece or two away from being a legit team.
yeah. I'm not familiar with what they've got in their farm system, but just looking at it,
It's been touted for quite a few years now.
yeah, they need two pitchers. They need two
Yeah,
starters. If they're
yeah,
really going to be legit, they need two starters. And the question they got to ask is, are any of their starters in the in the farm, or any players in the farm worth going out and getting two starters? Because to get to get a legit starter, a two, three, or four starter, it's going to probably, if you get two of them, it's going to take you at least five guys.
yeah, yep,
I mean, and because these teams are going to get these players, they're going to say of these five guys, two will probably hit.
yep,
But it's fun to see it. It's fun to see a team that was so bad be competitive, have a chance. When you look at that division, when you look at that division, you know the Tigers are dead.
yep,
They're finding out what we were, why we didn't sign Fromber back.
yeah, yep.
I'm still
Detroit,
waiting. I'm still waiting
golly,
to find out when Kansas City fires Matt Portero.
you keep saying that. It's. I feel like the clock is ticking. There's only a few pieces of sand left in that hourglass, my man.
Yeah, they've lost six in a row. They've got a runs against of 59. I think that's the worst in baseball.
Yeah. Mm,
No, the Rockies are minus 83,
okay.
but the Rockies aren't a real team.
No, unfortunately,
They're
it's
the
not.
worst in the American League.
That's yeah. That's why
I
they sell
love
$15 tickets for the free beer attached to it.
I love the old line about the Washington Senators. You remember the old line about the Washington Senators back in the early
No,
1900s? First in war, first in peace, and last in the American League.
I don't know that I ever heard that one before.
Oh yeah,
Oh man, that's
back in
good.
the old days, of Washington Senators, first in war, first in peace, and last in the American League.
Oh man. Well, the Astros
Um,
might get Hader back for the Pirate series. If we're going to kind of maybe talk some positive stuff, we're hearing word that that he might come back for he threw, let's see, rehab stint, threw 8 and 2/3 innings across 9 outings with 11 strikeouts.
yeah,
So this
they're
wouldn't
saying he's going
wouldn't
to
fix
be.
the.
They're saying Tuesday.
Okay, yeah. So wouldn't fix the whole bullpen problem, but I think it would give something that the Astros know that they've been missing, which is that end of game arm. If he can come back and be Josh Hader, that would be it would probably be a huge just boost of confidence for some of those guys knowing that he's there.
Well,
Jose Altuve possibly this week, but not guaranteed. Closer than expected. Obliques though, man, like that's
you got to
that
be
concession
careful
back.
about those.
Yep.
One of the
Hunter
things that might
Brown.
bring him, one of the things that might bring him back sooner is if Shoemaker's groin is a
Yeah.
little more bulky than they think.
Yep.
It looks like to me it's Altuve is still a week or two away.
Yep. Yeah. Hunter Brown, probably another week or two away, looking
Yep,
mid June ish. His second rehab start in Sugarland, he hit 99.3 on the gun through 3 innings, 44 pitches, 33 of which were for strikes. He allowed one hit, which was a homer, but he struck out five and no walks. So they're going to try to get him two more rehab starts before returning to the big league rotation.
he's got one on
Uh,
Thursday.
Yes. Yeah. Throwing 99, man, that's probably the best injury update you could get as a Houston Astros fan.
Well,
Hunter Brown hitting
if
99.
it's an easy 99.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Let's see. Christian Javier beginning a rehab assignment. La la la. Yainer
Do you get
Diaz.
the feeling they're in much of a hurry?
No. Not with Javier. No,
Yeah, I don't either.
considering how not good he was before he was injured, I don't think that they're super anxious to get Javier back.
No,
I
I
just
think
I
that
don't.
he might get shanked once or twice and say, "You sure you're not feeling so good?"
Yeah, yeah. Let's throw another rehab start in there, buddy. You
Yeah,
know.
let's just make sure. Ooh, you feel a little sore, Christian?
Yeah, yeah,
Because let's be real, the starting you give Joe and you give Miller and Ethan Katz credit.
hmm
You know, the pitching was historically bad, but it's lined out. Pitching for the most part is not the problem.
yep,
You don't go into every game just absolutely scared that you're going to get crushed.
yep, yep. Yeah, I don't know. I just with yeah, I just don't see the Astros relying on Christian Javier being one of those names that they're super excited to get back. I
Yeah,
don't.
I don't either.
Yep.
He well, let's just see how he does. It's his first year back, full year
Yeah.
back from Tommy John, and that's always an iffy year for so many guys. And every we keep on talking about pitchers coming back from Tommy John and how they in the fans keep thinking, well, he's back from Tommy John. We've seen it so many times. He can come. Some guys don't come back.
Yep. Yep.
Some
Yeah.
guys, it's just that's
It
just
doesn't.
it's just it.
Yeah.
You just never quite do it. Or you get a guy like Louis Garcia, you know, it's hard who has it happen again.
Yep. So talking about 101 games, Christian Vasquez has shown over the last couple of years before getting here that his stamina might be an issue with him, and there's really no clear return potential for Yiner. He's started baseball activities and expected to begin a rehab assignment at some point in the near future, but he's an oblique too. So what do you really expect? Do you have?
Yeah.
We've really relied on Christian Vasquez lately, both offensively and behind the dish. Are you a little concerned with the fact that Yiner that there's kind of really no imminent return date for him, and Vasquez is going to have a lot of weight on his shoulders over these next however many
Yeah.
games before Yiner really
Yeah.
looks back, and Cesar Salazar is not. He's not much of a contributor. I think the pitchers like him, but when he's in the lineup, it's a wash.
Yeah. Well, he was on the telecast today,
hmm
and they were talking to him about the ABS, and you can see why people like him. He's knowledgeable, seems like a really great guy,
He's got those
but
intangibles.
yeah, but he doesn't have any tangibles.
Right.
The
Yeah. There's no back of the baseball card with this
he
guy.
had no back of the baseball card. The the whole lots of zeros back there. This is Diaz is supposed to start a minor league rehab assignment during the first week of June. You
Oh,
start
okay.
doing that, you're starting. If you start doing minor league this week, it's probably 2 to 3 weeks before you're back.
Yeah.
The,
Again, oblique though. You take
Vasquez
you
is
take one you take one weird swing, man, or you come up and try to throw a ball to second, and ooh,
yeah,
could
and,
be trouble.
but Vasquez's bat is predictably begin to slide.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, are you going to go out and get a catcher for the next 2 weeks? Not really.
No.
Not
No. And
really.
you don't have anybody else to bring
There
up
are a
either. So
couple of catchers that look like they're going to be coming up coming through the system. Schiavone looks pretty good. He's
hmm
been promoted to Double A. Janik finally came back to off the injured list, and he was like down at Single A.
yeah.
But I think they'll move him to Double A. But nothing's going to help us this year.
Yep. Yep.
Let's see what.
All right, man. You got any closing thoughts? Any final words?
No, it's just at this point in time, the Astros just have to win series.
Yeah. Yep.
You can't worry about, but to give everybody, and we've talked about this so much, but to give an idea, when you're 7 games under 500, if you win 7 it takes 7 series wins in a row, net 7 series wins in a row to get to 500.
Hmm.
You've got 2 series a week, so you're talking 2.5 weeks if you win every series.
Yep.
And that's, so you're talking about being at 500 somewhere around the 20th of June.
Yep.
And, first day of summer.
Yeah.
You can do
Well, I
that.
mean,
That's
the American League West still doesn't. I mean, the Mariners are playing better ball right now, but it's still the American League West does not have a front runner really. I mean, there's nobody ready to take it. I
yeah.
mean, look at what the A's did, which we didn't even touch to that. The crazy Yankee A's game today, man, and
And
we hopped
we
on
talked
this, and
about it.
Wally was like, "Did you see what happened?" Like, no, man, what? A
I saw that on Twitter, and I was
13
like, "You've got to be kidding
inning,
me!"
a 13-run inning. For those of you who didn't catch this, because you hate the Yankees, just like we all do, the Yankees beat the A's 13-8 today, and the box score is insane because all 13
Well,
of those runs.
we talked about it at the start of the show, and we still can't believe it.
It's 13 runs in the third inning. That third
And
inning
11
lasted
hits. It's the only team
43
ever.
minutes
Yeah, it's the only team ever to get that many runs and that many hits in one inning and get nothing the rest of the game.
without a home run. They did
That's
all that without a home run.
that's insane.
That's insane. That's absolutely
That's
insane.
insane. No, I've got it. Astros get a day off and they can use it.
They could use it. Absolutely. 100%. Yeah. I mean, I think, from here on, it's about stacking those wins when you can.
Just win series.
For the Astros, you can't just have a good road trip and come home and get complacent. So, yeah, I think it looks like a team with a pulse again. If I'm being honest, I kind of feel good about it with Hader and Hunter Brown potentially coming back soon. And, I think that there's good vibes, at least. Despite the series loss to the Brewers, I still think that there's good vibes.
Yep. They've got a
Yeah,
chance.
they do. Yep. Got to
They've
keep got
got
to
a
keep
chance.
trucking. Got to keep
All
trucking.
righty.
All right, man. Wally, thanks again, buddy. As always, good
Thank
to see
you.
you. Guys, hit subscribe. Give us a like on your favorite podcast app. Run over to YouTube so you can see our ugly mugs for real. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for catching another episode of Dirt Diamond Sports Talk with us. I'm Ryan. That's my man, Wally. Let's go.